Life's just a game. We all wanna win.
Hey everyone, it's Jason. This is part 2 of the Unstable Unicorns, Chaos and Control Kickstarter Exclusive decks. If you watched the first video, you'll see I went through most of the cards from Control, which is the white box. Since most of the cards overlap between the two sets, I decided to break it into 2 videos, so I'm going to pick up directly where I left off. So if you haven't watched part 1 Control, go back and watch that to see all the cards, because when I start going through Chaos, I'm just going to quickly flip past any cards I've already went through. So we're going to pick it back up with the downgrade cards. Unicorn tax. Each time you draw at least one card, discard a card. Black hole. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, sacrifice a magical unicorn, search your deck for a basic unicorn, and bring it directly into your stable. Shuffle the deck. Restricted area. When this card enters your stable, see if I can reset that. These cards will go. There we go. They're a little bit blurry for some reason. When this card enters your stable, sacrifice all other downgrade cards. You cannot play magical unicorn cards. If a downgrade card enters your stable, sacrifice this card. That's pretty mean. The anti-magic bubble. When this card enters your stable, sacrifice all other downgrade cards. You may not play magic cards. If downgrade card enters your stable, sacrifice this card. So they're kind of like the ultimate unicorns in a sense. They're pretty powerful, but you only have one downgrade in play, so you can't compile all their effects. We have a catastrophe, a bunch of little catacorns. All of your unicorns are considered cats. Cards that affect unicorns do not affect your cats. So this is like the ones they had in the previous sets. They turned all of them into, llamas, I believe. Sheep, I don't remember what animal it was. We have one that's Otter Devastation. Turns all your cards into otters. Unicorn Abduction. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, shuffle a unicorn card from your stable into the deck, then draw a card. If at any time you have no unicorns, you may sacrifice this. So that's not a card you probably want very quick. Most of these downgrades you don't want. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, you may discard 3 cards. If you do, sacrifice this card. If you don't, move a unicorn from your stable to any other player's stable. Ooh, it's like unicorn leaving yours to a greener pasture. Brain freeze. You cannot play instant cards. The unicorn bribe. Shuffling you over a 20. These are upgrades. These are the positive ones. If one of your unicorn cards should be sacrificed or destroyed, you may sacrifice an upgrade or downgrade instead, including that one. Objection. When any other player tries to play a nay card, you may discard a card. If you do, stop that card from being played and return the nay card to that player's hand. That player cannot play a nay card this turn. So it's kind of neat. It's an objection card. It's an upgrade card you can just sit around that stops at least one nay card if you just discard another card. Foresight. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, you may look at the top 3 cards of your deck. If you do, add one of them to your hand, shuffle the other 2, and then skip your draw phase. So that's kind of neat because it's also a May effect, so you don't have to do it. Unicorn Adoption Agency. If you have 2 or more basic unicorn cards in your stable at the beginning of your turn, you may discard a card. If you do, bring a baby unicorn from the nursery directly into your stable. Oh, I see. I misread it. I thought it was telling you to discard your basic unicorns. I'm like, why would you do that? Unicorn Mafia. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, you may discard 2 cards. If you do, sacrifice or destroy a card. Retribution will mean each time any other player would destroy a unicorn card in your stable, you may destroy a unicorn card in that player's stable. Makes sense. The Imaginary Friendicorn. It's a sock puppet. If you have a baby unicorn in your stable, you need 1 fewer unicorns to win. Ooh, that's kind of nice. There's only 1 of these, so I don't know if there's 1 in the Chaos deck as well, because it'd be an effect that would suck if you combined multiple of them. And there are probably other cards that have similar effects. Each time you downgrade a card, a downgrade card enters your stable, you may search your deck for an upgrade card and bring it to your stable. Shuffle the deck. Oh, the glass half full, being positive. You get hit with a bad thing, you get to play a good thing. Extra life, it's 8-bit, that's kind of cool. If a unicorn card in your stable is sacrificed or destroyed, you may sacrifice this card. If you do, bring that card from the discard pile directly into your stable. So what's neat about this, is the way it's worded, is your card is destroyed or sacrificed. Then you may sacrifice this. Then you bring that card from the discard pile into your stable, which counts as a card coming into your stable. So it's not just, oh, it protects him from being destroyed. Nope, the card gets destroyed or sacrificed. So you get any effects from them being destroyed or sacrificed, and then you can rescue them and get them back. So that could be pretty cool, some other cards. Controlled Chaos. Named off the set, basically. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, you may discard 2 cards. If you do, destroy a unicorn or search a deck for a unicorn and add it to your hand. So if you want to be good or if you want to be bad. Now we have some instant cards. Up to this point, every instant card has only been nays. So that's one thing that was really cool about this Kickstarter set, was they added other instant cards that weren't just nay cards or a variation of them. So we have Imitation. Play this card from when any other player tries to play a unicorn. Bring a basic unicorn from your hand directly into your stable. So there's a couple of those. Destabilize. Play this card when any other player tries to play an upgrade or a downgrade. Choose the stable that it enters. So that can be devastating. You pick where they have to play their card. And it's after they've played it, so they can't say, I'm going to play this terrible downgrade card on you. And they're like, I have this. And they're like, in second thought, I won't play it. Nope, they've already played it. The Bulletproof Vest. Play this card when another player tries to destroy a card in your stable. Stop the destruction effects instead and draw. So this is basically not as good of a version of a nay, because a nay can stop any card from being played. But you do at least get to draw a card out of it. Unwind and Rewind. Play this card when another player tries to play a card. Stop that card from being played and then add it to the top of the deck. So then they lose their card completely, and then you, depending on when your turn is, you might have a chance to pick it up. The Super Nay. Play this card when any other player tries to play a card. Stop that player's card from being played and send it to the discard pile. This card cannot be nayed. So again, this completely just gets rid of that card. And then we just have some nays, which play this card when any other player tries to play a card. Stop that card from being played and send it to the discard pile. But they, unlike the Super Nay, they can be stopped. So we have some couple nays in here. And then we have the Good Nay, which is the same exact card, just with a friendlier character on there. So they give you a ton of nays in this game. And then we have some babies. The Baby Archangel Unicorn, which all the babies say the same thing. If they be sacrificed, destroyed, or returned to your hand, they go to the nursery instead. They have the white backs on them just to keep them separate. So we have the Baby Archangel Unicorn, the Baby Nightmare Unicorn, the Angelic Baby Unicorn, the Demonic Baby Unicorn, the Baby Slothicorn. Oh, isn't he cute, sucking on his hand? The Baby Belugacorn. Oh, it's cute. The Baby Pegacorn, the Baby Penguincorn, a little ice cube on the end of his thing there, the Baby Barracorn, and $1 million baby unicorn. He's eating some money as a solid gold horn. Solid gold horn. Blah. And then the last card I had, which I saved, is the other ultimate unicorn. It's the Archangel, which is the one from the box. A bunch of the cards. It is a foil. So this one says, when this card enters your stable, sacrifice 3 cards. If a card in your stable would be sacrificed or destroyed, you may discard a card instead of this card. Okay. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, you may draw an extra card. So this guy costs a ton to get out, because you have to sacrifice 3 cards. But you get the option of you may discard instead if a card would be destroyed. Plus you also get to draw an extra card each turn. So that was all the cards for the control box. And there's the Archangel Unicorn. There's the back side. There he is. Funded on Kickstarter. All that cool stuff. Make new friends. Destroy them. Unicorns forever. This box is kind of cool. Alright, so now we're going to look through the Chaos box. It's still wrapped up. Like I said in the previous video, lots of the cards in here are the same. There are some that are different. I think it's just the magical and the ultimate unicorns that are different, and then some of the magic upgrade, a couple of them. But now these all have the purple one on the bottom, so you can sort the 2 decks out really quick. So you can mix them together if you want, or you can play them completely separate. I am kind of disappointed because the way they showed it on the Kickstarter was any of the cards that were in both decks were going to be half of one color, like half purple, half blue, or green, or whatever the color is. That way you knew which one was in both decks, so if you only wanted to play, you wanted to combine them and not play duplicates, you could. So we're just going to kind of go through these sort of fast, since I already went through them in the other video. If I come across any new ones, we will stop and look at them. But these are all the basic ones. So far they're all the same. Yeah, so go back and watch part 1 if you want to see these guys in more detail. Alright, we are starting with some of the ultimate unicorns. We have the Valkyrie Unicorn for Chaos. When this card enters your stable, sacrifice a unicorn card. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, you may sacrifice a unicorn card. If you do, bring a unicorn from the discard directly to your stable. So basically you can trade cards around. So that could be very helpful. We have the Unicorn of Foreboding Doom. When this card enters the stable, sacrifice a unicorn card. When any player plays an upgrade card in the stable, you may discard a card. If you do, search your deck for a downgrade card and wear it directly into that player's stable. Ooh, so he basically punished them. So, like I said in the first video, the ultimate unicorns are the new ones. I don't know if they'll start adding them to like newer expansions or whatever. Right now they are part of the Kickstarter exclusive sets, but they're just more powerful than the magical ones, but they all have a cost. So like this one, the Epic Level Unicorn, the D&D one. When this card enters the stable, you sacrifice 2 unicorns. Each time you destroy a card, you may destroy a second card. You can kind of tell the difference. The control ones had a lot of, when this card comes into play, into your stable, you get a bonus. You get, like, to draw another card, or find another unicorn to play, do something. The Chaos is going the alternate direction. The Unicorn of Misfortune, Snake Eyes, and Skulls, a critical one, all bad things to roll. These guys are all about, looks like when you play them, you get bad effects that happen. Not necessarily to you, but to your opponent. When this card enters your stable, discard 2 cards. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, each other player must discard a card. The Manticore Unicorn. When this card enters the stable, sacrifice 2 cards. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, you may choose a card from the discard pile, add it to your hand. If you do, skip your draw step. I like it. It's a may effect. I always love effects that are may and not forced. When this card enters your stable, sacrifice a unicorn card. When a unicorn in any other player's stable would be sacrificed or returned to the player's hand, you may discard up to 2 cards. If you discard 1 card, add that card to your hand. If you discard 2, put it directly into your stable. A Shadow Unicorn. That is a pretty devastating effect. The only problem with all these cards is because you're sacrificing things from your field to play them. Your stable. So it's like you're already down at least 1 unicorn when you play one of these. Plus you have to discard stuff from your hand, which means it's going to take you longer to play other cards. So that's kind of a downside to them. Puppet Master Unicorn. When this card enters your stable, discard a card. Each time you discard a card, you may choose up to 2 other players. Each of these players must also discard a card. You can make some friends with that one. Like, I'll pick you and you, but you're safe. Frankie-corn. When this card enters your stable, discard a card. When another player tries to play a card, you may sacrifice this card. If you do, add that card to your hand instead, then play it immediately. It's actually even cooler, because then you get whatever, basically you're trading him for whatever extra effects you can get from the other guy. The Reaper Unicorn. When this card enters your stable, sacrifice a unicorn card. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, you may sacrifice an upgrade card, then destroy 2 unicorn cards. Yeah, he's coming for you. Alright, now we're going to get to the magical unicorns. The Unicorn of Betrayal. He looks so happy with all that blood on his horn. When this card enters your stable, you may destroy a unicorn card. If this card would be destroyed, steal any other player. Destroyed by any other, you may steal it instead. The Sniper Unicorn. These guys are so cute. Doing all these terrible things. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, you may destroy a unicorn card. If you do, skip your action phase. We've had the Mamacorn and the Academic Corn. So some of these are the same. So we'll just flip through them. Get to some of the new stuff. So many cool unicorns. Alright, we're up to magic cards. We have some new ones. Nightmare's Conjuring. Discard a card. Then choose a card from the discard pile and bring it directly into your stable. So basically you're trading them for resurrecting. Kitten Corn Burglar. Oh, the Kitten Corn. Discard a card, then choose 2 cards from the discard pile to add them to your hand. Now, with a card like this, how I would say is you discard it, you set the card you discard aside, then choose 2 other cards, add them to your hand, then that discarded card goes in the pile. I know why they didn't word it that way, it's kind of lengthy, but basically saying you can't discard card A, put it in the pile, then take card A and then a separate card. You can't pick up the card you discarded. You have to take 2 other cards. Grow Up we've had. So, now, just, again, there's just a couple magic cards and some of the other cards that are slightly, or they're different for the deck. So we're kind of just going to go through all the rest. So we got to Yoink. Yoink started the second deck on the other one. I Just need to try and see if I can open this package. Oh, child-proof packaging in my children's card game. Alright. Yoink. Went through all these before. Alright. A new downgrade. Toll Booth. Each time you play a unicorn card from your hand, discard a card. And we have Black Hole. So again, yep, just a couple. They're different from one set to the other. We have Nightmares Pact. When this card enters your stable, name a type of card. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, you may bring a card of that type from the discard pile directly to your stable, then immediately skip your end step. So it's kind of neat. You could be like, Magic Unicorn, and then every turn you can see if you have another Magic Unicorn. Or you're like, oh, maybe I want to accumulate a ton of, obviously you can't say babies because they're not ever going to be in your discard pile. Objection we've had, Foresight. Retribution, which I'm surprised that one's almost not only for the one. Alright, so we have a couple of instant cards that are just for the Chaos deck. Redirect. Play this card when an effect would destroy a unicorn card. Choose the card of that destruction's effect. So again, you could make some friends or make some enemies with this, because you could direct it back to the person that hit you or to a different player. Intervention. Ooh, they got their notes and everything handy. Play this card when any other player tries to sacrifice a card. Stop the sacrifice effect and choose any other player. Sacrifice or destroy a card in that player's stable. Jim, we have to talk. You've been sacrificing too many unicorns. The Trapped Chest. Play this card when any other player tries to draw a card. Stop that player from drawing a card. That player must discard instead. Ouch. The Absorb and Reflect. He's got a prism on his head for his unicorn. That is pretty cool. Play this card when any other player tries to play a magic card. Stop that card from being played and add it to your hand. Oh, and then immediately play it. It's sort of weird that they have you put stuff in your hand and then play it, but it's probably just so that way it's done correctly. Alright, so then we're just to the Nay cards there. The Super Nay, the B, the Bad Nays, the Angel Nays, and all the different babies, which are all the same. So it might be something where you might want to like combine the babies together so you just get more babies, but that's really here and there. Alright, so then we have the foil Nightmare Unicorn based off the box and everything. So this is the bad one. When this card enters your stable, sacrifice 3 cards. If this card is in your stable at the beginning of your turn, you may choose a unicorn card from the stable and bring it directly into your stable. So you sacrifice 3 to play him. Beginning of your turn, you may choose a unicorn from the discard pile to immediately play. So the other one had, the white one, the Archangel one, had multiple effects for sacrificing 3. But this one automatically gets you an extra card every turn, where this one had special effects based on what happened. So then the other thing we just have the what to do on your turn. Sacrifice, send a card from your stable, destroy, send a card from another player, so sacrifice is yours, destroy is another, discard something from your hand, and steal is moving a card from another player's stable to your stable. So the only time you'd ever take something from your hand, someone else's hand, is where the cards actually tell you, take that card and put it in your hand. Beginning of your turn, activate triggered effects. You have a draw phase where you draw 1 card. Action phase where you can play 1 card or draw 1 more card. and end of the turn you discard. And then there's all your... My camera froze. Alright, I don't know where we paused at, but I was just kind of going over the thing, all the different rules, showing all your different cards. So now they've added the Ultimate Unicorn, which are the black bordered ones. So up in the top corner, you have a little black and white one. Let me actually grab... So there's like the non-foil version. On the backside, same thing. So you just get a bunch of these. Basically, I think you can replace them in your other ones. Alright, so that was Unstable Unicorns Chaos. Back of the box. Created by Rami Beatty, funded on Kickstarter. I also got, just to go with it, I got the Nightmare Pin. At this point, I really wish I had sprung for the Archangel one, so I had both. But I got one of them for, I think, either for free or just instantly, so I got that. The last thing I want to show off for this video is the Disaster Relief Unicorn. During Kickstarter, I could pledge extra money to support the disaster relief, and I could get this card. This was for a funding just for like charity type thing, disaster relief funds for places that were, you know, attacked by bad weather. So we got this promo card. When this card enters the stable, each player must sacrifice all downgrade cards. Search the deck for an upgrade card, bring it to your stable, and shuffle your deck. So basically, it says coming in, rescuing everything, and you get to play something positive. Show off the Chaos control box. So that was Unstable Unicorns, Control, and Chaos. So you can mix them, either play them completely separate as their own decks, you can mix them together, mix them with other expansions. They basically function as brand new starter decks, like base sets, like the original. But so if you are interested in these, you can get them. You can't get them on Kickstarter anymore. It is ended. You may be able to find them off Amazon or eBay, or someone might be selling them for an extra amount to make some profit. Game stores might have bought extra. But I still wanted to show them all off. And then keep in tuned, I will be making another video for Llamas Unleashed, the Unstable Unicorns game. This has been out for a while now, but I didn't want to buy a second copy when I knew I had one on order. Catch y'all later. Bye.